Greetings, fellow warfighters. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Anomaly Eldritch Guards. Episode 3, Into the Mountain. Indeed. A quartermaster role is unfilled, and people would like a quartermaster. Ink and Mikas have decided that ᶜʰᵉᵛန့ᵒ is best fit as quartermaster, as neither of the other two have any social skills to speak of. And ᶜʰᵉᵛန့ᵒ, of course, was a commissar, so it's a role that fits. Well, we have a random rat that I'm going to have zoned to us. Oh, I saw that, Ink. We'll try to recruit someone for you, buddy. Someone mentally slow. A good match for you. He's a Neanderthal. Frontal lobe, not, you know, fully there. Mikas makes sure that whenever he's playing chess against Ink, he's going easy. So the freezers come together. ᶜʰᵉᵛန့ᵒ is about, let's say, half done. The Grey Paw has lifted, but I don't think that will be the last of them. Mikas, your top priority is to understand the threat. Alright, Ink, if you are done with your current tasks, have you go ahead and mine. We need more steel. Ambrosia Sprout. Better not catch anyone overindulging. What about the hidden cables? The hidden cable to the eastern door is fine. Oh, you mean this hidden cable? Yeah, I can make that one hidden. Still don't have my solar panels. But CPAN is busy. It's understandable. Alright, Magus, that is probably enough stone cutting for now. Back to research. So he's working on machining. Machining will lead to gunsmithing, flak armor, prosthetics, and smoke pop. It's quite a lot of options. So I'm going to pull you ahead of time, as it makes me disappear. I'm going to pull you ahead of time about what you want next. A lot of options there. What's my favorite thing about the newest update? An alternative to an endgame threat, because previously it was either drop pod raids with a bunch of doomsday launchers, giant mech clusters, and that was it. So having more challenges to face is nice. Definitely my favorite part. Now, the other part of this structure that is not yet set up is a freezer. But that is part of the build plan. So, we're going to stack simple meals here. I'm going to do meat and vegetarian on these shelves. As a important meat that isn't human, insect, or twisted. And all vegetables except for fungus. And toxic potatoes. We don't need those either. Also going to add the perimeter walls as part of the home zone, so we make repairs to it. Too bad there's, like, not a way to do diagonal drag. I guess it's far less of an issue here in RimWorld than it is in, like, Dwarf Fortress, where tons of the stuff that you're going to build is, like, diagonal. Alright, looks good. We're still waiting on some solar, which I think will come next. And then let's also add this as a home zone, too. Not much of a home, but it's added. There we go. And perhaps even the power conduit that runs out, especially in the case of a fire. Okay, perfect. I think we need some more hunting done. Let's have the two lovebirds, engaged lovebirds, go do that. Microelectronics will be next. Copy that. Oh, there's a rat in my freezer. That's awkward. Big Grizzly, thank you for the sub. And Naichi for the resub. You're welcome. All right. Let's think about a freezer. I probably should have done that ahead of time. I'm going to change the design here a little bit to accommodate for one. Our study into containment is about a third done, almost exactly. And these shelves here are going to be linked. And they're going to be for anything that needs refrigeration. Quantum, thank you for the gifted subs. So I'm going to go through painstakingly setting them up. So human meat, insect meat, twisted meat, we don't need. Actually, we're going to keep twisted meat. It's useful for study. Not fertilized eggs or insect jelly. Not chocolate. Not hemogen packs. Not kibble. Plant matter, but not dyes. Manufactured ambrosia and herbal medicine, and then wort, wherever wort. Trying to think if there's anything else. I think that covers everything that needs to be temperature controlled. Cheers, guys. You're all so unbelievably generous. Oh, got away. Oh, thank you for the hype train, too. How do these rats keep getting in? Oh, it's my rat. Right. That explains a lot. My brain. Am I using it? I am not sure. Alright, now that we have a freezer, which is frozen, I'm going to preempt everyone to haul to it. Yeah, We're soldiers. We can't really handle animals. I mean, maybe if we had like a service dog or something, but that is not what we had. Trino and Ibu, cheers. Thank you for the bits, and I ate you too. And Ari, man, triple cheers. I'm going to run out of coffee at this rate. All right, freezer is looking pretty good. Or refrigerator for the kitchen. It's a freezer for the kitchen, but I do want a butchery in there. Also be good to get the solar up. Let's solid start. I like our massive compound. Even if there is, like, cougars in my area. May need to clear out some of the animals that are, you know, behind the walls. We, of course, do have a wooden door that, allows animals to pass through it. That's going to be an issue. Especially in the winter, when there's fewer berries to eat. They're going to want to come join us in here. The Sight Stealer is awake? Oh, it's always awake. It's always jiggly or whatever. But Mikas will get to it when he gets to it. Yep, there he goes. Alright, storage is looking pretty good. It's an absolutely filthy environment here. What? That's the best we can do for now. Alright, it's a little more illuminated so that we can actually see the study subject, which I've been told is useful. Oh, Naichi, thank you for the even additional gifted subs. Cheers. Okay, we have kitchen. I do need to set up the butchery. But Sea Panda should be working on that in just a second. Also, now that I'm getting close to being done, what should I build next? A barracks, containment facilities, research lab, storeroom, craft room, or something else? Something suggested by you all. Alright, machining is done. You guys wanted microelectronics. You can see how that's going to get laid out. Should make life a little easier. Garage partners. Interesting name. Alright, so we have a butchery stockpile. There's a lot of critters inside the walls. There's multiple ibex, a cougar, a rat, a rabbit, whatever that is, another rat. I'm not too concerned about that. as long as we're hauling our food from the farm fields in. And we can also enclose our farm fields at some point, walling them up. And also, given the ambient temperature of this map tile, where it is the 11th of summer right now and it is cold, it might be wise to work on some sort of sunlight, grow light operation sooner than later. All right, Cougar, at some point you're going to turn on me, so I'm going to turn on you first. Insufficient containment. That's weird. Is it because there's no roof? Yes. Okay. I didn't want to have to go through a stone door every time. But it looks like our next project is going to be building containment facilities. Build a containment facility. So, before I embark on this, I want to preface that we are going to be role-playing for a lot of this. How members join, the kind of science we do. So I'm not building meta. I'm building what a reactionary force would build if they were tasked with containing a threat like this. In other words. So, figured I'd mention that, because it's not going to look normal, in other words. It's going to be very secure. So let's go start with that. So where to put it? I think that putting a lot of our living facilities in a mountain in the long run adds a lot of security. You know, so I would like to start going into the mountain for that reason. And Ink is basically a diggy dwarf. So, what I'm going to do is a bare minimum excavation of this area. Just so that we can use it. And then get to excavating into the mountain. Alright, Sea Panda, you're hauling chunks. That actually is pretty helpful. Gets all these chunks out of the way. There is some overhead mountain here, but not tons of it. Cool. Now, there's other things I can do. If enemies are coming in from the west, they're going to have a hell of a long walk to get to me. Whereas from the east, it's a lot quicker, but not quick. I mention this because trying to increase the amount of time it takes enemies to get to us will be ideal. And then also, if we get proximity detectors, setting up proximity detectors around choke points that enemies will have to pass through to be able to tag and identify them will also be very handy, I think. Alright, I'm not paying you to gaze at the sun. In fact, don't do that. It's bad for your eyes. I think for now, I'm going to make it cheaper, and then I'll elaborate as time goes on to limit the scope of how grand everything is. I'm also obviously going to need to run power down there, so let's get that going too. just a straight shot. Nice. How is our anomaly research doing? A little over half. 61%, or almost 62% of the way there. Not bad. Microelectronics is about a sixth. Stockpiling up food, which is very handy. Mika's getting that going. Alright, Mikas, I'm going to have you deliver materials to the power conduit. I am actually relatively surprised that the storyteller hasn't given me the opportunity to recruit yet. I'm very surprised that I haven't had like a pod drop or someone wandering in or something along those lines yet, which is surprising because basically a default scenario here, and I'm hoping to be able to raffle some people off. Our numbers need to grow, but I'm sure we'll do that in due time. I recruited a site stealer. I don't know about that. I don't think he feels like a recruit. I'm gonna guess he feels captured. So the layout. Let's brainstorm here. Question: should I slowly? What should be built into the mountain? Just research and containment? Research, contain, and sleeping quarters? Or eventually everything? Should we slowly migrate into the mountain? I know I just built a freezer, but this is like long-term goal planning here. So I'm going to put a lot of time on the board because this will dramatically change sort of the layout that I choose for myself in here. So if you want me to have sort of like a secure mountain base, you know, this is essentially the pull. But if you want just for it to be mountainous research, you know, infestations are still a thing, yes. Okay. Looks to me like the sort of eventually everything is a bit of a winning option here. So, the containment facility, honestly, should probably be deep in the mountain. That would be the kind of idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to lay out what I think will work for us. So I don't exactly know where the thin rock roof is, but the idea here is that we'll have like a 3-wide pathway that chokes at some point for brawler advantage. Maybe chokes right where the rock roof goes thin. This will go out to probably double-walled rooms here. So this will go out to a freezer because I'll be able to have a chimney if there's thin rock roof around here. So freezer, kitchen area. Kitchen connects with a hallway that connects with an recreation. And down here can be like defense area. So if this is the incoming area, we can have like a kill box or something resembling a kill box, or even fire trap potentially, maybe a mix of the two. Off to the right, provided there's this thin rock roof up here to be able to vent. If I wanted it like that, it'd be ideal if I had a path over to the east that isn't contingent upon this hallway though. But if we put doors here, we can usher people in. So that's the basic concept, is this will be like a kitchen. And this is dining. Donkey Kong. And then some sort of like barracks. Quite likely the leaders of the colony will have their own beds, but the grunts won't. And probably, given the layout of the mountain, let me remove that, having a hallway up here so that the barracks is more along the lines of sort of like this area. I'm bad at pixel letters, so as long as I know what the letters are, like, that's good enough. If this is the kill box area, it makes sense to have containment kind of behind it, separating out the monsters from the people. So this being containment, have it lead towards the containment facilities. The ideal range for an SMG is something like somewhere between 3 and 12 cells. And then the new rifles, if you're wondering, the Hellcats and Incinerators. The Hellcats' ideal ranges are about 12 cells as well. So if we design a kill box that is set up for like a 12-cell type thing, you know, so this is 18 cells or so, but we can have barricades up. We could do something like this. Some sort of layout like this. So we can snipe incoming enemies if we want, fall back to a bit of a kill box. I'd also like for this hallway to have a bypass. So if this is a doorway, we would have a bypass hallway with a door so that we can shut everything down if we need. The other thing to think about is to also incorporate deep water, digging out a method for our people to traverse to this area here. Meaning that for the monsters, we would need to remove this tunnel and cut it off and give them an alternative path into the base. So that's a thought, a much later thought. So if this is our kill box area, what I'm going to do, just to leave myself like a lot of wiggle room, what is this, 6 and 7 or 8? Leave myself a lot of wiggle room. Is this even now? 6 and... no. Is to really nest it pretty far in so that it doesn't get in the way of anything kind of ever. And of course, I'm assuming that this mountain has no voids. I mean, it might have voids. So let's put our first containment facility here. And we will put probably like a science lab around here and then have the containment facilities. And the idea that I have is to contain pretty much all the creatures separately. If you're wondering, creatures have a jailbreak timer, just like prisoners. So they have an escape interval. And if you house them together, they escape in batches, which is far more difficult to deal with, especially if some creatures are kind of easy to deal with, the lesser, weaker creatures, but stronger creatures definitely should be housed alone. So it's possible to have like group containment. I'll consider that a thought. But we're going to want, you know, a lot of like individual containment cells. So if we want individual containment cells, let's say we have like a hallway here, and then this will be the individual cells. And then we're going to have, for the sort of lesser creatures, group cells. So about containment facilities. Each holding platform reduces the effectiveness of a containment facility. So the more holding platforms are together, the less effective it is. But then to counter that, there are things like shard inhibitors, which is an area of effect that can connect to multiple holding cells in its zone, allowing you to house in bulk. So we'll have individual cells for the rather dangerous stuff, and then like group cells for like lesser, like shamblers and ghouls and things that are just not difficult to contain. So this will be the individual containment facilities, and then we can have, once I have more research unlocked, group facilities. But for now, we can put the Site Stealer into an individual. So that's, the long and short of it is, that's the plan. And I want to dig a bare minimum here. To get that going. The individual cells probably should be more... I should leave more room than I have designed. So I'll start digging towards it. But let's do maybe... 9 by 9 is probably enough, because the cell will be 3 on the inside. I think that's enough. What's the dimensions of the... I'm trying to do some like high-level planning. Electro inhibitor, I think, is a 2 by 1. Okay. And then this allows me to replace, not going so close to the edge of the map, allows me to replace walls at some point, if we really need to secure. Oh, we're asked to alpaca sit. Awkward. But it's for honor. Paralycopacia. Alright. Well, we're really bad with pets, but, like, I won't say no. An alpaca named Wolfgang? Okay. Hey, Migas. You've always wanted a pet. Let's try. It's funny, it's warning me about animal filth. It's like, yeah, I don't think Wolfgang's going to be moving around very much. Don't have to worry about that. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Eldritch Guards, which originally streamed live on Twitch April 13th and April 14th as a marathon, but not a miniseries, which means this series will continue sometime in the near future. If you have any feedback or questions, let me know in the comments below, but please no spoilers for the people reading the comments. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. And if you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord or Patreon, links can be found in the description. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Eldritch Guards.